Again, Tesla is increasing its footprint out here in California, opening an engineering headquarters in Palo Alto. They're taking over the old HP building in what Elon Musk told me is a poetic transition of Silicon Valley power. I asked him about Tesla's renewed presence in California after we all know the very public exodus to Texas.
In this video, alarm bells ring as Lucid Motors falls flat on their face after a catastrophic 2022 and truly pathetic guidance for 2023. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that production is, what's that word again? Oh yeah, hard. And Tesla makes a very surprising decision. And in case you missed it, I just posted an exclusive video on Patreon that is guaranteed to cause more butthurt and melt more snowflakes than any other video I've posted in the history of Patreon. Really. And that is definitely saying something. I have thoughts, lots of them, on some very spicy issues. If you're not a member, you can join now with the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment. Fair warning though, you're probably going to get mad.
Lucid earnings are out, and that one is moving. Phil LeBeau's got the numbers. Phil?
John, it's moving lower because this is another quarterly loss for Lucid, a loss of 28 cents a share. It's thinly covered, so the estimates are all over the place. Revenue, however, is below what expectations were on Wall Street. Revenue coming in $258 million. The street was expecting just over $303 million. The numbers within the numbers everybody is focused on, production and deliveries in the fourth quarter. And when it comes to production, yeah, it's an improvement over the third quarter, but they're still trying to get these production challenges corrected. Just under 3,500 produced, delivering just under 2,000. For all of 2022, they delivered just under 4,400 vehicles. By the way, their guidance for production last year was between 6,000 and 7,000 vehicles. They did hit that target.
Fact check, false. Now, if you want to be really pedantic, yes, it is technically true that Lucid eventually did end up guiding that figure. However, this was after two massive revisions to their guidance in a downward direction. I saw this coming. In fact, cue me in the past being right. Again, almost 2 years ago. This was back in May 2021.
Give our audience an update on production and supply chain and whether you're still on track to hit the targets that you laid out previously, more than 20,000 vehicles in 2022 and $10 billion in revenue in 24.
So before Peter Rawlinson answers or doesn't answer the questions, pay very close attention to his eyes. I could be wrong, but it appears that he is reading some prompts. He's got some bullet points, some things he can and can't say, etc. It appears that rather than speaking from the heart and answering the question like a competent CEO who knows what the company's doing, their plans, etc., it appears that he's looking at something, some pre-prepared notes. This doesn't smell good. He's a CEO of the fucking company. Surely he should be able to answer this stuff without needing notes.
Well, we're on track to put Lucid Air, the car behind me, into production in the second half of this year. And we're really making great progress here on three fronts. The factory's ready and up and running. The car is getting higher quality, getting closer to start of production on a daily basis. And we're rolling out our sales and service network. We've got 6 stores open across the country with 4 more to come in the very near future. So very much on track for start of production of what I hope will be an outstanding product in the second half of this year.
Doesn't smell good. Now, maybe I'm imagining things here. Maybe I'm hallucinating. In fact, let me know in the comments below. Did you get the impression that Peter was reading from some notes there or just genuinely answering the question? Not making any accusations here, but this certainly isn't a good start, especially given the fact that Peter didn't actually answer the question. Let's see if he'll answer it the second time around.
Peter, started production, but are you on track for 20,000 vehicles in 2022?
We're very much on track for our plan. We're aiming for over 577 vehicles this year and a significant increase throughout next year as we grow the business.
Guys, gigantic red flag. Peter Rawlinson, CEO of Lucid Motors, unwilling to answer a direct question about their production targets and whether or not they're on track to meet that target of 20,000 vehicles delivered next year, completely dodging the question. Now, there may be many possibilities, but here's a couple that I can think of. 1, he knows already that there's no fucking chance that Lucid's going to come even close to 20,000 vehicles produced in 2022. My intuition says that's the correct assumption, but it's just an assumption. Or 2, he's just an idiot who for some reason is unwilling to answer this question, even though he still currently believes that they're on track to deliver 20,000 vehicles next year. Let me know in the comments below, which of those possibilities do you think is most likely? And of course, What are some alternatives? Maybe he's just nervous and somehow he can't answer a question because of his nerves. Yeah, right. I don't know. I'm really scraping at the bottom of the barrel here. I'm telling you guys now, something fishy is going on here. It's not a good look. It appears that Peter is concealing the truth from us. Doesn't look good. Of course, maybe I'm just hallucinating.
Okay, but you won't repeat that 20,000 number. I'm noticing, Peter. Are there some hesitations around that? Is there any reason to think that you might not be able to hit that number that you laid out?
Great line of questioning here. She's really trying to get a straight answer out of Peter. Now, for the record, just so you guys understand, if Lucid fails to come even close to producing 20,000 vehicles next year, and then they're investigated because, shares collapse, these kind of things, people are a little bit pissed off, etc. If Peter is not careful in how he answers this question, he could find himself in some seriously hot water with the Securities and Exchange Commission for misleading investors. So Peter has a choice now. He can answer the question honestly, which is, oh no, we're definitely on track, there's no problems whatsoever, and then hopefully they're actually on track. But of course, my suspicion, my intuition here, again, no evidence, but my intuition here is he actually knows there's no fucking chance this is happening. If Peter says, well, you know what, there's actually some problems here, we're not super certain, we're not totally sure, this is probably going to cause immediate short-term damage to the price of Lucid stock. Not good for Peter, given the fact that he's highly compensated in stock options. So that's a lose-lose situation. But there is a third alternative. Just completely dodge the question once again like Neo in the Matrix during bullet time. Which of these options do you think Peter is going to take? Let's find out.
I'm very optimistic about our future potential for manufacturing. We're going to start production this year in second half. We're predicting 577 vehicles this year and significant growth next year.
Peter politician Rawlinson simply unwilling to commit to Lucid's prior target of 20,000 vehicles delivered in 2022 despite being questioned repeatedly. Can't get a straight answer. Red fucking flag. You know what? Dear internet, please keep me accountable. Some of you guys and girls, please set a reminder for early 2023 to check back in to see whether or not Lucid delivered anywhere near 20,000 vehicles for the full year 2022. My suspicion is it will be dramatically less. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Lucid succeed, but I have my doubts. In fact, I have nothing but doubts at this point in time.
And here we are in early 2023. Amazingly, Lucid did fall dramatically short of their previous 20,000 vehicles delivered in 2022 guidance. And by dramatically, I really do mean dramatically. If only we could have seen this coming 2 years ago. If only somebody had posted a video on YouTube entitled Warning, Lucid Motors, Big Red Flags. But unfortunately, none of that happened, so it's definitely not the fault of any of the Lucid stock investors for investing in this company, believing what they were telling people when it was obviously false and they didn't actually believe what they were saying. Because if people were raising the alarm and if the red flags were obvious, nobody would be surprised that Lucid has fallen catastrophically short of their previous 2022 delivery guidance. Now, I think there's a lesson here. I believe it is, how's it go again? Production is, what's the word that goes after production is? Can someone, how's it go? Let me know in the comments below. Production is blank. Now, let me be crystal clear here. In 2021, in May, Lucid was still guiding for 20,000 vehicles delivered in 2022. Anyone want to take a guess at how many vehicles Lucid is guiding for deliveries for the full year in 2023? And even better, will it be above or below the 20,000 they were aiming for in 2022? Because, just saying, if the figure they're aiming for in 2023 is less than the figure they were aiming for in 2022, and if they fell dramatically short of the figure they were aiming for in 2022, I mean, nothing to see here. Don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Lucid to the moon. Lucid's the next Tesla. You can count on it. Nothing to see here. Don't worry. They're definitely not going bankrupt. Production's easy.
And for this year, they're expecting to deliver or build between 10,000 and 14,000.
Okay, hold up a sec. Need to do some math here. I'm not very good at math, so you'll have to bear with me here. I'm super dumb with numbers. So let me so they've just guided for 10 to 14,000 for 2023, right? I'm pretty sure they were guiding for 2022 deliveries of 20,000 initially before they reduced it twice. But if they're only guiding for 10 to 14,000 in 2023, if they hit the low end of that, 10,000, Lucid will deliver half as many vehicles as they were promising people they'd deliver in 2022, a year late, and half the number. And if they're lucky, a little over half. So I think what I'm trying to say is nothing to worry about here, folks. Right on track. After all, production is easy. Prototypes are hard. Wait, is that how it goes?
I talked to Peter Rawlinson, CEO of Lucid, just a few minutes ago. He believes they have the production cadence in place to succeed. And he also believes that the key now is to increase sales. He'll be leading that effort, a renewed effort to boost sales. Do they have enough cash on hand? They've got $4.9 billion. And John, they say that is enough to get them at least into the first quarter of 2024. Back to you.
So since we're sticking with semiconductors this afternoon, has that been part of the production situation, part of the issue there for Lucid?
Part of it, but it goes much broader than that. It comes to actually standing up the entire production line. So it goes well beyond just the chip issues more.
So to recap, everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. The smoke you can smell, the flames you see, it's normal. Don't worry about it. Hey, look, a distraction.
Shares of Lucid trading down more than 9% after reporting fourth quarter earnings. Let's take a deep dive into the company's latest financial report with Jamie Perez, RF Lafferty & Co. Senior Research Analyst. Nice to see you, sir. So needless to say, disappointing numbers. What jumps out to you?
Well, the deliveries were a little weak. They produced about 7,200 vehicles this year, but they delivered 4,400. So it's about 60% of the cars they produce, they deliver. So that's a little weak. And, they missed revenues by 16 million. So we can see a little bit of a change of mix from the high end to more modest cars because, Lucid is a high end luxury EV. But I'm not too concerned about this quarter. I'm really concerned about the production number for 2023, which is at between 10,000 and 14,000.
Yeah, Jamie, about that production number, what were you hoping to see? And in terms of the issues that they are having with delivering their vehicles, sure. Certainly Lucid has been struggling with bottlenecks, quality control issues. Where does that stand from your checks?
Right. Well, last year they estimated about 20,000 vehicles, so they cut their production guidance last year. So this year it's a little bit significantly trimmed down. You expected in the 20,000 run rate, but I think what they're trying to do is maybe achieve a more doable number given supply constraints. So guidance between 10,000 and 14,000, it's pretty good. Not great like, somewhere like Tesla, which is the benchmark. But, for a startup EV producing within the last couple of quarters, it's pretty good. But, we expect a little bit more.
That 23 number does not include the 100,000 cars that will be a part of that Saudi Arabia agreement. Sure. Where do you feel that public investment fund situation is headed? Are we taking that company private? I think they own 55-60% right now. Where do you believe that's headed?
Yeah, just in case you don't know, the Saudis literally own a controlling stake in Lucid Motors. You'd hate to be Pete Rawlinson right now, having your testicles in the vice grip of the Saudi investment fund. No, really. Just imagine. Hopefully Pete never needs to pick up a marriage certificate.
Well, I think I think Lucid is going to build out their whole plant and build out the brand. And I'm not sure whether Saudi Arabia fund is going to buy them outright. But we know that Saudi Arabia wants to divest away from fossil fuel and more into EVs. So this goes along with this strategy on expanding into the EV market. So I think the probability of expanding further is huge.
Yeah, Jamie, where do you think Lucid stacks up here in terms of competition? Obviously, the number of vehicles that they produce deliver a fraction of what some of its competitors are doing. How are they going to compete given that disadvantage that they're at? And then also the fact that they're offering their own price cuts, their own $7,500 credit for just a couple of vehicles.
Right. Remember, the Lucid cars are premium vehicles, so they start about 72,000, could head up to 150. So it's a different market from Tesla, where it's more consumer driven. This is more for the luxury buyers. So there's probably not a large EV buyer for the luxury market, but the company is trying to go to a more affordable range. So I think that's pretty much the strategy. Now, I think the downfall is we should hear a little bit more about the go-to market strategy as far as advertising and getting the vehicle out to the public.
What's your biggest outstanding question for the call, and do you expect that your price target will remain?
So FYI, the guy has a $17 per share price target on Lucid stock. It's currently just under 10, so basically 70% upside from here.
Yeah, I think the price target will remain. Like I said, I want to see a little bit more of their go-to market strategy. They've been opening up studios, not really advertising. They want to get their cars out, sort of create an ambiance. And once the product is out, I think we should see a little bit of ramp up in demand. But also remember, they gave $7,500 tax credit for certain models, which should help out in the first quarter. And with revenues. But let's see if that continues going forward.
All right, stock off just over 8% here in extended trading. Jamie Perez, thanks so much.
The fact that Lucid was essentially discounting their own vehicles by $7,500 because they didn't qualify for the EV tax incentives because the vehicle prices are too high should give investors serious pause for concern. Why would a company selling vehicles for 6+ figures need to be offering discounts? They're high-end luxury premium vehicles with unicorn tears in the wiper fluid and woolly mammoth pubes in the stitching of the seats. This isn't a dollar store product. It's high-end, it's ultra premium. That's literally the market they're going for. Is it possible that no one's buying their vehicles, no one's ordering their vehicles, their reservations are drying up, they have demand concerns, despite the fact that they're producing an extremely low volume of high-end vehicles? That's weird. Somebody must have hacked my computer. Some weird tweet just appeared. Let's read it anyway. Lucid's reservation backlog as of February 21st is around 28,000, down from 34,000 on November 7th. So that's a reduction of 6,000 reservations. But deliveries in Q4 were only 1,932, which, again, I'm not very good at math, but I think that's a lot less than 6,000. While we don't know the delivery number yet for Q1, reservations seem to be disappearing at a faster rate than deliveries are happening. Not good. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why this tweet's on my screen. I probably shouldn't have even read it. Let's move on. And now a huge announcement regarding Tesla and California. Did I say that right? Oh no, I did. Okay.
Again, Tesla is increasing its footprint out here in California, opening an engineering headquarters in Palo Alto. They're taking over the old HP building in what Elon Musk told me is a poetic transition of Silicon Valley power. I asked him about Tesla's renewed presence in California after we all know the very public exodus to Texas.
California, Texas company.
Right, okay.
We're trying to emphasize that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
and just a question.
We're kind of a dual headquarter company.
Okay,
yeah.
So is this kind of like HQ2 now?
Well, I don't want to use those words.
Okay, not those words. One other question. Are you kind of reversing your stance?
It is effectively a headquarters of Tesla.
Musk also told me that while California is Tesla's home state, lawmakers there don't always make it easy doing businesses in the Golden State.
Oh, thanks, Elon. Next, you're going to tell us water's wet. I mean, dude, California really is like the worst place on earth to do business, to construct a building, to do literally anything at all. So much red tape, so much bureaucracy, so much bullshit. There is a reason businesses and wealthy individuals are fleeing. Great weather, some great people, plenty of human fecal matter and syringes on the sidewalks if that's what you're into as well. But trying to do business in California, I think strategically this makes a lot of sense for Tesla. This is a place for them to recruit Silicon Valley talent to work for Tesla. The people who've not yet realized it probably makes sense for them to get the fuck out of California and still want to stay there. It was interesting Elon didn't want to commit to this California office, this building, as a headquarters or headquarters 2, walking the fine line between completely snubbing California and making the best of a bad situation.
Do you think California should be cautious about, having taxes and regulations go too far? I'm not anti-California. I mean, I think, one has to strike a balance here and say, like there are a lot of good things about California, and then there's some challenges. And California, I think, could make it easier to do, especially manufacturing, than is currently the case. But I would encourage legislators to consider their actions, in the long term.
Yeah, right, Elon. Legislators considering the long-term implications of their actions. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Not going to happen. This is one of the important and inevitable facts of politics and government. Incentives are misaligned. The people making the decisions, the rules, the legislation, their primary concern is getting re-elected short-term, not the long-term effects of the legislation, the laws, the rules, the regulations they're putting in place to buy votes. I mean, no, yeah, actually, that's what they're doing. Yeah, see, this is a big problem. I don't know how to solve this issue, but incentive structure is all wrong. I
also sat down with California Governor Gavin Newsom exclusively, who has formally said that Tesla doesn't exist without California. Thanks to over $3 billion in subsidies over the last couple years, I asked him about what exactly brought Elon Musk back. Listen to this.
We're all talking about ChatGPT. We're all talking about AI. Look around. Where's it all happening? They're no longer talking about engineers anymore. We're talking about elite engineers. We're all the elite engineers. They're all right here.
It's unclear how many jobs will be added in this deal, but it's worth noting that nearly 40% of Tesla's global workforce is already here in California. So despite everything we hear about this contentious relationship between Musk and California, Tesla's footprint today is only getting bigger out here.
Amazing work getting both the governor of California and Elon Musk on the record there. And we want to talk to you more about that. But Phil LeBeau, keep us honest here. Come on. Isn't this a different Elon Musk line on California? He says he's not anti-California. Over the past couple of years, he sounded pretty anti-California, but now it's a dual headquartered company. He's not even willing to call California HQ2. Why all the California love?
Why wouldn't you give the California love? Look, if you were expanding your presence, if you're Elon Musk, this is one of those win-win days. California feels good. He feels good. In a week, John, Morgan, we both know what could happen if a legislator in California comes out and says, you know what, I think that we need to have XYZ regulation. Elon Musk would waste no time blasting that legislator or blasting the state of California. So I took his comments today as saying, it's a good day for everyone. I feel good. Let's celebrate the fact that we're going to have this engineering headquarters.
I think Phil LeBeau's on point here. This is a good opportunity for Tesla to recruit some of the talent that still remains in Silicon Valley and California. But the facts remain. If you want to do business instead of fentanyl, California is not the ideal place. If you want to get anything meaningful accomplished in a reasonable time frame, aside from theft of a Walgreens in broad daylight, California is probably not the ideal place. But there is plenty of talent there. Tesla wants the talent. Makes sense. And as Phil points out, if regulators try to fuck Tesla in California, Elon will just go somewhere else.
I'm not surprised he doesn't like the term HQ2. I mean, because that was kind of coined by Amazon, right? And his, dare I say, nemesis, Jeff Bezos, over there as well. And we know there's a healthy rivalry between those two, particularly on the space front. Yasmin, maybe I missed it, but just walk me back to, are there incentives or any sort of government something tied to this in terms of Tesla making this now a second headquarters again?
Of course there aren't. I mean, I could be wrong here and this will be embarrassing, but I'll leave it in anyway because whatever. I'm very confident about this. The reason that Tesla's doing this is because there are talented engineers in California who they want. The odds of California incentivizing Tesla to do more business in California, 0. The state of California has done everything they possibly can to push Tesla elsewhere. Tesla made this decision, and I suspect Gavin Newsom thought this would be a great PR opportunity for himself. Oh, look, see, Tesla jobs. Oh, yeah, look at me, I'm Gavin Newsom. Wear a mask. Don't ask why I'm not wearing mine, but wear yours. I don't know why I said that.
I did ask Governor Newsom about that. There are no new incentives with this new deal, but they are hoping to attract a lot of new talent out here. And they think that by being in Silicon Valley and, taking over this building and attracting engineers, they're going to be able to get out in the forefront of it. A lot of other AI companies out here, we've been talking about ChatGPT, Meta AI, Google AI, all of them are here. So there's a big pool of talent here that is going to be mutually beneficial, as the governor told me.
So while Tesla is aggressively recruiting AI talent, the next Tesla, aka Lucid Motors, continues to disappoint. If only someone had warned us that production is hard. If only there'd been clear indications that Lucid were deceiving their investors with guidance of 20,000 vehicles delivered for the full year in 2022, and now in 2023 guiding approximately half that number for 23. But alas, everyone is incredibly shocked that Lucid fell short of their production target, that there seems to be a discrepancy between reservations and deliveries, suggesting that their reservation backlog is vanishing, not due to deliveries, but people changing their mind. And obviously, Lucid will be absolutely fine and will not be going bankrupt later this decade. And of course, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't once again point out that I pointed out almost 2 years ago that Lucid were full of shit, and that Pete Rawlinson was refusing to mention that 20,000 vehicles delivered in 2022 target because he knew it wasn't going to happen. After I predicted that, Lucid twice revised down their 2022 production goal, and now we hear about their pitiful 2023 production target. What are the odds they're going to fall short of that as well? All I can say is, I really did my best to try and warn you guys. Speaking of, I'm quite confident in saying that Lucid probably ain't going to make it through the end of this decade. I'm even more confident in saying that you'll probably feel and perform even better if you begin taking Athletic Greens AG1 every day, as I do. But don't take my word for it. Take your own word for it. My wife and I have been on AG1 in February. Increased appetite, age mid-80s, and off blood thinners now. Improved attitude and memory as well. I think this may be the first testimonial I've seen on AG1 from somebody in their mid-80s. Results may vary. Another one. This time, this comment from Patreon. Stephen, I love AG1. I feel great. Don't argue with the wife no more and don't want to blow my brains out. My digestion is regular and poop is long and strong. It's the best it's ever been. Keep pumping his stuff. It's great. Love your content for 3 years now, keep it up. I can't comment on arguing with a wife or wanting to put a hole in my head, but I can confirm, regarding digestion and regularity, this is accurate. One of the many perks of improving your digestion and overall health. Another one. Been taking AG1 daily and realized I fall asleep better faster and feel more focused and have better digestion. Thanks, Stephen. You're welcome. You guys aren't already getting bored of how many people love this stuff, are you? Because I ain't done yet. Been taking AG1 for just over 2 weeks now. Incredible difference and no more afternoon fatigue. A familiar tale. Another. Athletic Greens really works and also keeps you regular as clockwork. As the previous testimonial suggested, this is also true. And finally, this Athletic Green seems to work very well. I ordered this and have been drinking it for 2 weeks. I really like it. Now obviously all the testimonials you saw here were fake. I paid all of these people to write those things in the comments. That's the only possible explanation. Why else would people write these things? It's almost as if this stuff actually is what it says it is and does what it says it'll do. But that's a bridge too far. Surely there's no possible way that getting 75 high quality vitamins, minerals and whole food source nutrients, adaptogens, probiotics, prebiotics and digestive enzymes would help you feel and perform your best. No way it could affect your mood, your sleep or your energy, let alone your poop. There's definitely no way it could improve your gut health, which can affect your mood and your energy. And you definitely can't get a free 1 year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 by using the link in the pinned comment or heading to athleticgreens.com/SMR. So please, remain a skeptic, keep doing what you've been doing, keep feeling like you've been feeling and ignore everything you saw here because like I said, I just paid these people to write the testimonials to try and trick you people into getting this product that doesn't do what it says it'll do. In all seriousness though, what are you guys waiting for? There's a 90-day money-back guarantee, and you don't need to take my word for it. Just heard from a bunch of people sharing their own experiences. If that's not enough to convince you to give this stuff a try, I don't know what is. If you're ready to make a decision, head to athleticgreens.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and then brace for impact because I've posted some very spicy videos on Patreon in the last couple of days, plenty more to come. And fair warning, there's a high probability that your butt might hurt, and if you're a snowflake, you might melt. But if you think you can handle it, I'll see you over on Patreon. Love ya.